He cheated on me with my best friend. And I found out 2 weeks before their wedding. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just smiled, because by the time they said I do, I'd already made sure their entire fairy tale would crumble. Piece by piece. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, a partner, a friend, this story is for you. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and stay until the end, because what you're about to hear isn't just revenge. It's precision-engineered payback, served ice cold. We always think betrayal comes with warning signs, a late text, a change in tone, a gut feeling. But when it hit me, it came disguised as normal. My name's Maya, and for 4 years, I thought I was in love with the most loyal man alive, Ethan. We were a perfect couple, or at least that's what everyone said. We had inside jokes, shared Spotify playlists, and even our parents joked about when the wedding would be. And then there was Laura, my best friend since childhood. She was my chosen sister. The kind of friend who knew my phone passcode, who'd been there through every heartbreak and every success. If I was the planner, she was the spontaneous one. We balanced each other. Or so I thought. It all started to shift the night Ethan forgot his phone at my apartment. It buzzed, once, twice, then again. A message from Laura. At first, I didn't even think twice, but then I saw the preview line. Last night was amazing. I can still smell your cologne. My fingers went cold. The world felt like it had lost gravity. I opened the chat. Hundreds of messages, photos, inside jokes, voice notes. Every word was a knife, each one twisting deeper. I didn't confront him that night. Instead, I sat there, rereading every message, my tears drying into quiet fury. Because rage is loud, but betrayal? Betrayal is silent. It rearranges who you are. When Ethan came over the next morning, smiling like nothing was wrong, I smiled back. I hugged him. And in that moment, I made a promise to myself. He took my heart. So I'd take his happily ever after. Erase the cruel irony. 2 weeks later, Ethan and Laura announced their engagement. No, correction. They announced our engagement. Because every plan, every detail, every dream we'd once discussed, he reused with her. Same venue. Same theme. Even the same song for the first dance, the one we called ours. People asked if I was okay. I said yes. Inside? I was dissecting every move, every weakness, every person they'd need to trust. And that's when I realized something crucial. Weddings aren't about love. They're about logistics. And I was still on the inside. Lara's family loved me. Her mother asked if I could help with the planning since I had an eye for detail. Ethan didn't protest, he thought guilt was enough to make me too fragile to fight back. He underestimated me. And underestimation is the soil where the best revenge grows. So I helped. I smiled. I gave suggestions. I handled vendors, caterers, and seating charts. I was the calm, supportive friend, the ex who had moved on. But behind every spreadsheet and email, I was weaving a quiet, invisible thread of chaos. First, I changed their cake order. Not to poison it, no. Just subtle humiliation. The cake they received had the wrong names written. To Ethan and Maya. The baker apologized profusely. Laura laughed it off. Ethan went pale. Then, the seating chart. I accidentally switched a few names around, nothing obvious. But the result? Lara's conservative aunt ended up next to Ethan's loud college drinking buddy who wouldn't stop talking about his bachelor party stories. Tiny cracks. Imperceptible to outsiders. But visible to them. Every day that passed, I collected small details like weapons, guest lists, timelines, and most importantly, the wedding playlist. That was the key. Because their first dance song, Can't Help Falling in Love, was our song. And they were going to dance to it. That couldn't stand. So I replaced it. Not publicly, of course. Just enough that when the DJ loaded the final USB drive, the first dance track was a remix, one I edited myself. The new version started normal, but 30 seconds in, it glitched and transitioned into a voice note. Ethan's voice. I can't believe we're sneaking around like this. If she ever finds out, we're done. Don't post anything, Maya's too smart. ID extracted it from the messages. Cleaned it. Tuned it. Perfect clarity. It was going to play in front of everyone, family, friends, co-workers, even the priest. But that wasn't the only trap. The night before the wedding, I sent a scheduled email to Lara from an anonymous address. It contained screenshots of everything, the cheating, the lies, the voice notes. But I timed it perfectly, it would arrive right after the ceremony began. Not before she said, "I do." After. Because this wasn't about stopping the wedding. It was about letting them believe they'd won, and then watching the illusion collapse. The wedding day arrived. Bright. Warm. Beautiful. Every detail was perfect. The flowers, the decorations, the smiles, all carefully rehearsed lies. I stood in the corner, calm as still water. I wasn't there as a guest. I was helping coordinate. My clipboard was my camouflage. Ethan avoided eye contact. Lara looked radiant, oblivious, glowing in betrayal's borrowed light. When the priest said, "You may kiss the bride," I felt a strange calm, not joy, not anger, just clarity. Like watching a storm I'd already predicted finally arrive. Then came the first dance. The lights dimmed. The song started. Soft guitar. Elvis Presley. Everyone smiled. Cameras ready. 30 seconds in. Glitch. Then Ethan's voice echoed through the speakers. "I can't believe we're sneaking around like this. If she ever finds out, we're done." The room froze. The laughter died. Lara's smile collapsed mid-breath. Ethan's face went white. He rushed toward the DJ booth, but it was too late. The full 40-second clip played out, ending with the faint sound of Lara's own voice whispering, "She'll never know." The silence afterward was unbearable. Gasps. Murmurs. Then shouting. Lara stormed off the dance floor, tearing at her veil. Her mother followed, her father glaring daggers at Ethan. Guests started whispering. Phones came out. And right at that moment, Lara's phone buzzed. The email. Screenshots. Voice notes. Proof. Everything I'd ever seen, now in her hands. She screamed. Not in heartbreak, in realization. Ethan turned toward me, eyes wide. He knew. He knew. But all I did was smile, tilt my head slightly, and walk out. Behind me, chaos bloomed like wildfire. 2 days later, the wedding was all over social media, not for the love story, but for the scandal. The clip leaked. Someone had recorded the entire scene. Ethan lost his job, his company couldn't handle the PR mess. Lara moved back to her parents' house in another city. And me? I didn't celebrate. I didn't post or brag. I simply deleted the evidence, turned off my phone, and went for a walk. The sky looked clearer than it had in months. Revenge doesn't heal you. But it reminds you that you can stand up after being destroyed, and that sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. If there's one thing I learned, it's this. Betrayal turns hearts into steel. And forgiveness? That's optional. Because sometimes, the best closure is watching the truth speak for itself. If you've ever faced betrayal and wanted justice without losing your peace, hit like, subscribe, and share this story. Tell me in the comments. What's the coldest, smartest revenge you've ever seen? Because sometimes, karma doesn't wait, it plans. And this time, I was karma.